Neela, my daughter. Hello. Hello from the past. You are probably seeing this in the future. And I'm here to tell you that you cannot run away from the consequences of your actions. No one can, no one has in the past, and no one will in the future be able to escape the results of what they have invested in the moment. And if you're watching this when you are a young woman, because right now you're 26 weeks inside of the womb, but yeah, as a young woman or any young person, you think that you're invincible. You think you could do anything and get away with it. You think you could live your life, stay up late, sneak out and go and talk to boys. You think you can take drugs, you can drink, you can sleep around promiscuously. I'm very impressed I said that correctly. And that there will be no consequences. But consequences, karma, does not care who your father is, doesn't care who your mother is, doesn't care the color of your skin, your age, it doesn't care. It comes to you. And that's what I want to drill home today in this verse from the Dhammapada. Verse 15 to 18 talk about this, consequences of your action. And it should reassure you and give you hope, and scare your little skinny backside into alignment. And so I'll read the verse and then we'll talk. I'll let you know. I'm going to tell you some secrets about my life, and the negative and positive consequences of my life. I'll put the verse in reality for you. Verse 15 and 15 to 18. Wicked ones. Remember, this is Buddha's words. It comes from my book, The Dhammapada. It's available on Amazon or in your living room. Wicked ones suffer in this world and the next. Buddha is saying, wicked ones suffer in this world and the next. They mourn with anguish and torment, seeing the evil of their deeds. They mourn, thinking, I have done evil. They mourn even more when reborn in hell. Okay? The reverse. Noble ones rejoice in this world and the next. They are joyful and delight in happiness, seeing the purity of their deeds. They are joyful, thinking, I have done good. And rejoice, rising into the blissful realms. So first, let me pop that bubble for you. In the first line it says, wicked ones suffer in this world and the next. Meaning the fruits of your actions are going to bear, and like a ripe mango or a rotten mango fall on your head in this world and in the next world. So I don't know what your belief system will be if you believe in reincarnation, but we could take the spiritual side out of it and look at reincarnation in terms of a practical sense. Every day you reincarnate in the morning when you wake up. You get a fresh new incarnation of life. And if you've done stupidity the day before, that stupidity is going to reincarnate with you in this life. You reincarnate in every season of life, from a baby into a, what's the word, youth, adolescent, young adult, old age. Every season of life, you reincarnate. And the quality of life that you live in the previous season determines the quality of life that you will experience in the following season. And you reincarnate every single moment. The anxiety, the stress, the pain, the grief, the sorrow that you have in this moment reincarnates with you in the next moment. So don't think that reincarnation is such a woo-woo idea, because in your life, reincarnation is constantly happening. And so to me, let's talk about how I witness this negative consequence, the negative consequence of living an evil life. When I was a young boy, I was into party promotion, which means that I used to plan and host these grand parties, festivals. And I know you may say, Daddy, you? You used to party, but you don't even leave the house. You haven't left the house in weeks. It's true. I partied, and I planned parties. My whole life was a party. And during that time, I, I experienced a lot of joy, but my joy was superficial and led to a tremendous amount of suffering. And there was a lot of, maybe I wouldn't call it evil, but a lot of unwise decisions that I made during that time. And it was like a snowball. The, the ignorance that I acted out kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it followed me. And um, soon I was bankrupt. Soon I owed people money. Um, Soon I had lost all of my reputation. Um, I wasn't someone that could be trusted. Um, I confused my family, my friends. I broke many hearts. I was living a really, I was spiraling downwards because of the life that I was living. And in life, you spiral downwards and you end up in your grave. And your grave is a place of mourning, a place of sadness, but it's a place of rebirth. And so in that grave, I was reborn into a spiritual life off of a necessity to, to live. I was blessed to discover that this quality of life, this evil life, bears no fruits, bears only suffering. And I was blessed to discover that at a very young age. And so I entered into a spiritual life under a spiritual teacher. And to go on to the positive side of this verse, it was everything started to change. I I was joyful and delighted in happiness, seeing the purity of my deeds. I learned scripture, I learned meditation. I began to teach this. I was meeting lots of religious people, swamis, priests, um, monks, nuns. They became my circle. I had a great, beautiful group of friends, of artists who supported and encouraged me. And the more I engage in this quality of lifestyle, my life blossomed in beauty. The same life, the same me, in one stage um, on a downhill spiral because of my actions, on another stage, an uphill spiral because of my actions. And then after this, my spiritual teacher, as I mentioned in the past video, fell. And here's the thing, it's not in this verse, but I'll just add it in. If you are closely attached to someone who is living an evil life, your life is also going to spiral downhill. And he had a sexual dysfunction, and he was a spiritual teacher, a guru, and he began to interfere sexually with his students. And you see, that is a very evil action. And what happened is that everything fell apart. All the goodness, all of the structure that we built, the ashram, everything fell apart because of this evil action. And I, because I was so close to him, also fell apart. And so this is a simple verse. It's not something that you are going to be like, wow, what a unique insight. It's kind of obvious. You do good, good comes. You do bad, bad comes. But I am telling you this from experience to not take this lightly, because your life is more than just these words. If you live wickedness, your experience becomes horrible, dangerous, and there's only so much that I, as your father, can do to protect you from this. And in some stages of life, your wickedness, if you do go down that path, will pull you away from your family. And the opposite is true. Your goodness may bring you closer and also may pull you away from your family. And let me read you now my poetic commentary. The wicked path, covered in burning coals, crawling with snakes, spiders, haunted with ghosts, thieves, liars, and at the end, my friend, you receive nothing but fool's gold. The noble path has many rivers to cross, many mountains to climb, but the way is lined with fruit trees, wild flowers, compassionate guides, and at the end, my friend, you receive unshakable peace. So, you follow the wicked path, you end up with fool's gold. It's worth nothing. You follow the noble path, the path of good action. And for in the Buddhist context, good action is action that brings you merit, that brings, and that's very much aligned to actions whose intention is good. And a good intention is always based on compassion, on the truth of interdependence, that we are all interconnected, the truth of impermanence, on love, on nonviolence. Those intentions in action produce merit. Merit brings you positive outcomes in the future. And just a note about darkness. This is not in the verse, but as I mentioned, I had to go into my grave to be reborn. And then my guru spiraled into his grave, and again I was reborn. And each time I was reborn, I had shed a lot of darkness and a lot of light and became closer to who I am. So even if you find yourself in darkness, know that I am always with you and I will never abandon you, ever. And if you're in light, know that I am always with you and I will never abandon you. And your father is tough. Let me tell you something. He's a big man. I there with your girl, and I love you. I love you. I haven't even met you. You're 26 weeks. You're still in your mother's womb, and I love you. I love you so much. Last night I was singing to you and you kept kicking me in the face. It's like, oh gosh, your father, I know I can't sing, but I'm trying my best. Yeah, so let's conclude with the main takeaways. The main takeaways, my chiquitita, my Neela, is that take it from your father. You cannot bend the universe to your will and expect black to be white. If you do, ignorance, if you live an ignorant life, and you know what ignorant life is, you know, I don't have to tell you, if you live an ignorant life, you're going to increase your suffering. We all have mandatory suffering from being a human, but there's a lot of unnecessary suffering that humans pick up and just throw it on themselves. So number one, watch yourself. Don't be stupid. Live a wise life. Number two, Although you can't expect to do white and get black. Know that white and black are part of a whole, part of an independent dance that is so beautiful. Life is more than good and bad. And finally, your father there with you. I know I said if you do bad, you might separate yourself from your family. You might. Physically, never in my heart. Never. Never. You will always be in my heart. Okay? Chicky? Chiquititi? Nila? Let's go on to another verse.